got Katrina Cross Daniels all the way from the D, Detroit, Michigan. And she's a Fundy ambassador, as well as the Lead Savage ambassador. And she got a few more companies that she's an ambassador of. But tonight she's gonna be leading one of the training on the Fundy software and how to build albums and whatnot. So please, guys, be attentive on this one. But I got a few announcements before we get to her. Please, for those that's in the DMV area or coming to the DMV area on May 18th, which is this upcoming Sunday evening, we'll be right in the Annapolis area for a photo walk right beside JC Carey of Westcott. So, guys, if you want to come and shoot out with us, we're going to have a few models. It's no charge. If you decide to give a donation, cool beans. If not, oh well. But right after that, the next event is, I believe it's June for the Build Conference, June 17th, right in New York City. We're going to be, while we're at the Build Expo, we're going to do a photo walk right at Hudson Yards. So if you have any interest, please look right in the chat. Sheena's putting a link in the chat for that photo walk. That's going to be in New York City. If you'd like to join us for that photo walk on June the 17th. Of course, if you got any questions, please hit us up. Let us know whatever your questions, concerns may be. Also, on June the 22nd, that is a Sunday, we'll be having the Peculiar Barbecue, which would be right on the outskirts of Baltimore and Glen Burnie. It's literally like 100 meters from the Baltimore city line. So guys, come on and join us out for the Peculiar Barbecue. Of course, Abnett makes his signature burnt ends. Come enjoy this. We're gonna be outside and inside. So guys, come on. Also, we do tentatively have the Shy in July event coming up. So please, if you're interested in that, please sign up ASAP so we know what the interest is on those that want to go to Chicago in July. And the dates for that is July 15th and 16th. A lot of us that are we're traveling in on the 14th, and it's spending the 15th there, and then the 16th as well. But we're also leaving on the 16th as well. So if anybody's interested, please hit us up. Sheena and Nate is heading that up. So guys, once again, if you got any questions, hit us up about that. Also, the biggest Zoom member is coming up in August. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. And then last but not least, we got the biggest event of the year right here in the Baltimore region, which is at BWI Marriott. It's the Peculiar Conference 2025. Guys, please get your tickets ASAP. Go to peculiarconference.us. Get your ticket today. Once again, that's peculiarconference.us. Get your ticket today. We got Jerry Guionis. Not only do we got Jerry Guionis, but we've also brought in his wife this year, Melissa Guionis. She's going to be speaking on the business side, and Jerry's going to be speaking on the portrait storytelling side. So guys, please make sure you put it on your calendar today. Also, we got Sophia Barrett coming back. Sophia Barrett's coming back, and we got Scott Robert Lim, the photography magician himself. So guys, please prepare to come on. We also got Chad Lawson, all the way from ATL, coming in for the conference this year. And we got a host of other speakers going to be at the conference this year. So please make sure you get your ticket today at peculiarconference.us. But without further ado, I wanted to make sure that I get it on in a timely manner. It's 8:15. I wanted to bring on none other than our friend, our family, our sis, Katrina Cross Daniels. Over to you, Katrina.
All right, thank you. So thank you first to Peculiar for having me on here. It is such an honor to come and teach anything on this platform. So I am honored to be here. I am going to go over some tools on how to use Fundy album design. It's so much to do into this platform, so there's no way that we're going to be able to cover everything in this platform today, but we are going to go through quite a bit of it. And first, I wanted to start, before I start sharing my screen, if everybody can let me know, like, who at this point offers albums. So if you offer them, you can just say yes in the chat, you do, and if you don't, you can say I don't. And let's start there. And I am going to get ready and share my screen while you all are saying yes or no. And also, if you offer the album designs, tell me, who use Fundy currently? If you can let me know that. If you already using currently, you can just say Fundy, so we know who uses it. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen and we are going to get started.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yes, I use Fundy, and 1, I have Fundy, but I don't use it yet.
Okay. All right, so before I get right into the Fundy, we're just going to go over a couple some information. So again, I am Katrina Cross Daniels. I am a boudoir and wedding photographer based in Detroit. I'm also an educator and ambassador for some amazing companies. So like RJ already said, Fundy being one, FLORICOLor, AFTERSHOOT, Homespun Heart, and Lee Savage. And I'm a HONEYBOOK educator. And I also just have a brand new studio called KCD Creative Studios. This is open for all creatives to use. So that's and it's in Detroit as well. So our journey today, we're going to start with the power of products, like understanding why physical products can create that stronger emotional connection and lead to higher sales for your clients. It's also, we're going to talk about revenue boosting, learn how albums can dramatically increase that average client spend. We're going to explore the all-in-one Fundy solution so you can help, simplify your workflow. And then we're going to do a live demonstration on Fundy. So let me move you guys out of my way. So the power of your products in your business. One, again, is going to do that emotional connection. When people see themselves or their children in albums, it just makes them want to spend more. So when you can show what you sell, it can help lead to that emotional connection as well. It also gives you a higher perceived value when people see that you offer products. Not to say that just doing digitals, doesn't have a perceived value, but it just gives it a little bit more when you have products. It does make you stand out too from just the digital only photographers. A lot of our clients don't know about products if we don't tell them about it. So you may think like, oh, well, my clients is okay with just getting digitals. And that could be true, but that could also be because that's all they know. So it's our job too to introduce them to that world of products. And it can also reflect as a client referral base for you too, because people are going to show their albums around. So people are going to know like, oh, you did this, and they can refer people over to you when other clients now want that. And so some of the revenue stuff can happen here. So digital only, for example. So whatever your product is that you sold, your service, and whatever that value was, it kind of ends there. So if you did something and it was, I think right here, just an average, $1,200, and that was their shoot, that was their digitals, whatever it was, that's all they got from you, it ended there. But once you add products onto that, now you can increase that a little bit more. So you can offer like a basic album and increase those digitals up a little bit more. You can also do a premium. Maybe now you want to say with that basic, could have just been like a leather cover, a minimum number of pages. Now you can say, okay, well, we could increase that and do maybe something like an acrylic cover, different type of a wooden box cover, and that'll increase it even more. Or you can say, well, not only do you get a wall art with those digitals, you also get the album, wall art, and the digitals, and now you increase your sales even more. So it does benefit because your clients can spend 2, 4, 6 times what you initially had them at. So in this introduction to Fundy Designer, and one thing I want to just say before I even talk about the whole Fundy thing, my personal experience with Fundy is Fundy has definitely changed my life. I've been using Fundy well over 10 years that I've been with Fundy. I haven't been an ambassador for 10 years. It's been less than 2 years as an ambassador, but I've been loving this product from the beginning when I started, selling products. It's one of my main tools that I use from the time I cull, edit my images, do my IPS, I'm always going right to Fundy to design an album. And this is what I show my clients during our reveal session. They see a mock-up album of their images. So again, Fundy is an all-in-one. You can do albums, you can do wall art. So you'll be able to show people what a wall art can look like on their walls or in a mock-up room wall. You can do thank you cards in there. You can do a slideshow. So it's really like an all-in-one system to help you get that sale for your client. It's kind of easy to use. Once you learn it, it's kind of a drag and drop system. You don't have to have Photoshop skills needed. There's some advanced tools on it. We're not going to really go over all the advanced tools today, but if you even wanted to do like some editing with the images, once it's in Fundy, you can do some of those things too. That's a new pro feature on it. And they also have like what we call a smart auto design. So even if you feel like, well, I don't know how to design an album, I don't even know where to start, they have a button on there where you can like click it and it is just auto design the album for you. It doesn't always be like it's perfect, but then it gives you a starting point. So from that point, you can go in there and tweak and make added little changes to it, but it did the heavy lifting for you. And you can also, if you choose to use this feature, this another like pro feature where you can send it out to the client for their approval. Once you designed it out or made any changes that you all talked about, you can let them see it if you choose that option. So once we go over to Fundy, which is our next step, we are going to look at like uploading and organizing, how to do an auto design, quick changes, moving some things around on there, and how to also share your Fundy album with the lab or with a client. So I am going to stop sharing real quick so I can then reshare to Fundy. So hold on. Stop. Y'all okay? And we don't have to be totally quiet too. We could be interactive here as well. So if you have any questions midway, don't hesitate to say, I got a question, or can you repeat that, or hold on. All right. So is it sharing yet or no? Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is Fundy, but I am going to start from the beginning again. So once we go into Fundy and we do a new project, once you open up this platform, so you can give it a name. I'm gonna call this one Jordan 25. We're going to import the photos. So wherever you have the photos that you want for this album, I'm going to use these same ones here on my desktop. So when you open it, they import in. So I'm going to skip this feature because we're not going to retouch these images right now. But if you wanted to, you can apply this feature where it say retouch, and upon import it will add a retouch to all of these images here. So we're going to skip that. This is another pro feature. I don't know, like the ones who have Fundy, I don't know if you have Fundy 10 or if you have the volume number 11. So the updated volume number 11 have some new features in it, and this is one of them, where you can hit design for me, and you can customize it, or you can have like some auto templates made. So if I was to have this template, this right over here, so upon importing images, I wanted to automatically create me a 10 by 10 album, a wall art, a thank you card, and a slideshow. I just click this, and this is the things that it's going to do. Again, all of this, the wall art stuff doesn't always be perfect, or the album, you do have to make a few tweaks, but not that many. Or you can just come over here and customize it and say, nope, you want to create everything yourself. So I'm going to just hit auto design for now. Let's see. Okay. So once you do that, it's telling me right now that it has created an album, a wall art, thank you card, and a slideshow. And we can open up the album. And on this one here, I only imported like 36 images. But typically, whatever amount of images that you're importing, it would create an album for all of those. And one of another like pro tip point of what I do typically for weddings, but I know it was limited time here, so I didn't want to create too much. I would say if my client is getting a 20 page album that's coming with their collection, I'm going to build out at least a 60 or 80 page album. That's just what I do. I build it bigger, more pages, because it's one is really telling like their whole story throughout their day, and it's the point of about the upsell. Yeah, they may have already gotten this that was included in their wedding package, but now the wedding is over. Now they're seeing all of their images, and when they see a 40 page, 50 page album, they then have the option to say if they want all of those images or that album in that size, or if they don't, or if the price is not where they at, then I'll let them say, okay, so which page do we want to delete out? And they can decide if you want to delete this whole page out, which sometimes makes it hard for clients to do. And I'm not saying like every client always go with the bigger album that I create, but a lot of them do. They figure it out. So again, we just did the auto design, and this is what it came up with on its own. And it didn't do a bad job, actually. It actually, did okay. But if I wanted to make some changes here, or let's just say if I wanted to say this image on this last page, I wanted it to be a standalone image by itself. It's really simple to just grab that image and drag it over to open spread. And it just moves over just like that. So now we have 22 pages. I don't really like a total cluttered album. I really like my albums to breathe and tell a story. So sometimes that's one of the reasons why I do end up with more than 20 pages that comes with it. But if a person really only wanted 20 pages that came with their album, I still design it, or I help them cut it down to that, and it works out too. So I don't make a client feel like they have to have this bigger album. It's only if they want it and they can afford it. So if I wanted to look at this like first spread, for example, and I'm like, well, those all look like similar and a little bit too much. It's simple as just clicking, like double clicking on the image, and you can remove something or you can move things around. So if I wanted to like drag and drop and move this bottom one up to the top, for example, you just drag and you swap them out. If I wanted to move one of the flower one over to the middle, I'm just dragging and dropping it over here, and it's going to reformat that page. And again, if I don't want to drag and drop anything, but I want Fundy to tell me like what do they suggest, there's another area that says layouts up here that I can just click on layouts, and it's going to give me a lot of different variations of layouts. And I could say, oh, okay, I think I like, this one instead, for example. I'm not saying this is what I would pick, but I can simply just pick the layout that they designed for me. And when I go back over to view, then that one is already there. And if I decided I didn't want an image in here, If I click on this one, I'm like, well, I don't want to put the ring with this shot by chance. When I just click on that image and I just hit delete and it's gone. It's not gone totally. If y'all see this film strip down here at the bottom, like all the images that was selected to be imported is down here. This number 1 that's on each image is telling me that that image is actually being used in this album. If there's not a 1 on it, like how I just removed those rings, it's just showing me that it's not being used. So you can just look. If you had a lot more images than what I have here and you want to make sure that you have important images, or you can just easily go through here and see which ones is not being used. Or you can go to this filter button here and you can select like show me images that's used in the projects, that's used in this design, unused images. You see right now it says it's 1 image that's not being used. So that's a quick way too, where you can go look and see what's not being used. Okay. So in here, I showed you how to drag and drop, how to move things around, how to click on a spread and redesign it from Fundy or yourself. If you wanted to create more pages or move things around, you can do that. I could say, well, I want this cake image that's on this page 17 to 18 to go over here with these images with cake. If I want to swap it with this 1 image, I could just click that image of that cake and drag it and land it on there, and it swaps out. So now, so you can move things around. I can say, well, I want this cake image spread to be further up in the book, in the design order. I'm not saying I would do that for this particular thing, but I'm just showing you how you do it. You just grab this little icon thingy here and you just move it to where you want to position that spread.
Miss Katrina,
Mm-hmm.
how do you decide what the layout will be? And are you shooting, like when you're at the wedding, are you shooting with that in mind?
I am. And although some things change when you're shooting, because sometimes things unexpected come up and you gotta shoot this or whatever, but I design my album the way the story was told throughout that day. So I will start with some detail shots. I will start and then go into some getting ready images for the bride and the groom. I would then show the ceremony, those moments. And I'll just tell it the way it happened. And that's how I want the album, to look. So that's why I said I wouldn't have put that cake, spread right there. Even if it it looks good right in this spot. But that's breaking up the story. So I wouldn't have done that.
Katrina, when you're presenting the album for sale, are you giving the client a certain number of images they can select to be put in the album, or you're just putting enough in there to fill 20, 30, 40 pages?
So I'm putting enough in there to tell the story and to fill, let's say, a 60-page album. And it's gonna all be seamless, and I don't put repetitive images in there either. So if I was putting for example, this family shot, for example, if I was to have her and her grandma and her and her mom and dad, then his side of the family, I would probably have 1 image from those things, just to make it where if you decide you have to get rid of something, it's gonna be a harder job for you to delete grandma out the book, for example. Which page do you want to get rid of? And like I said, sometimes they have to make those hard decisions, and they do it. And then sometimes it's just too hard to make that happen. So I do think of that in mind when I'm creating that album. And again, I'm doing that before they even see any of their images Like I don't show images first and then design the album. You know, after my wedding, when they see these images for the first time, it's right now. And they're going to see it in a beautiful design album. And then that creates that emotional connection that they're having, because now they can relive that moment for the first time with me and looking at it in a designed album. Sometimes.
So you're selecting the pictures, not them.
Yes, I'm selecting the pictures for the album. It doesn't mean that that's the end of it. Like if we're here and I'm showing you this, and they like, oh, but I really like the design of the 60 page, but it was this one image, say if something stood out to them that they really, wanted or whatever, and they wanted that one image in there, I can go swap it and bring that one image in and replace something. So, I don't have like just the final say of their album, but a lot of times when we get this to clients to figure out, or we just, in my opinion, when I would send, because I used to do that, when I used to send out a gallery link to my clients and say, pick your favorite 60 images and then we'll design your album. For one, I was waiting forever to get it back. Two, they may pick images that's a favorite to them, but it does not look good cohesively together in an album.
Right.
So I was like, I didn't like it. They had Uncle Bob, that was there. They had no place anywhere else. And so sometimes I felt it was then my job to say, although you really like this image in here, but I don't really see a spot for it where it looks good on the album. So we would always make changes. So I just decided that I am going to design it and make it look beautiful to them, and then we can tweak from there. Okay. And I'm not waiting 3 months for you to finally get back with me about what you want, and then now my backlog from all the other stuff I'm doing is getting crazy. So nope, I set aside a time frame. We're going to meet on Zoom like this, and I'm going to share my screen the way I'm doing it right now, and we're going to go through this and we're going to make the decisions today.
Thank you.
So that's how I do it. So in that design feature, so again, so I showed y'all how to move things around, switch images out. You can make other spreads if you want. Like if you got, I think you should, in my opinion, I always have at least 1 or 2 spreads. It's like a hero image. It's just like a image by itself on that page. Just so everything doesn't look all the same and all cluttered and things like that. So remember at the beginning of this, I did a design thing. So I made it create an album, a wall art, and some other things. So from up here in the wall art tab, once I click on that, and I'm gonna click wall art. So let me go to view. So it gave me like some different options, and again, you have to go in here and tweak this part. So I would have done this part, of course, before I get them on the call, and I would have looked at this and I would have been like, oh, okay, so let me make sure I go in here and adjust, the image so it fits right in the frame. And then you just decide like which images you want to show. Of course, I would have switched these images, but for the purpose of showing y'all, I'm gonna just leave the images the way they are. But if I wanted to like swap out, like, oh, let me put this image over that image. So say if this was what it did and everything was fine. What I like about the wall art thing is, one, you could use these templates of different rooms, or you can have your client send you a photo of the room. Like during like my consultations or throughout my process of talking about their whole wedding day, I'm talking about albums from the beginning. Like they not hearing about this album just now. Like we've already talked about getting albums and things like that. I may have already said, send me a picture of your room that you're gonna want to put one of your beautiful images on. So, and I would have uploaded that image to Fundy, because you can like add photos and stuff here. So I would have uploaded that, and I would have had like their living room on here, and those pictures would have been in their room, in their own home wall, and they would see what that looks like. So say for example too, if I wanted to show them this but it just didn't look right in these sizes, it's easy to make different sizes in here too. So instead of having two 12 by 12s next to that, like I could say, well, let's make this one, you know, you could just drag and drop it and make it whatever size you want to be able to show the person. So if you want to, you know, show them something smaller, bigger, you know, so you have that that freedom to do that. So that's a good thing, because if they say, well, I really like that, but you know, I really only want like 3 12 by 12s. Okay, well, we can make, you know, 3 12 by 12s, and you can either drag and drop it, or you can just hit edit and you can write in your sizes there as well. So that's just another way you can see how to do that. And so
do you, excuse me, Katrina, do you usually drag and drop in front of them or change the sizes?
I do both. Yeah. If they, you know, looking at it and they, you know, really didn't, if they question it or would like to see it in different sizes, yeah, I show it to them right then and there.
Okay.
And I use both options. I drag and I write, whichever one I feel like doing in that moment, you know.
And how easy is it to upload their pictures
of their room? Yeah, once they like send it to you and it's downloaded to your computer, yeah, you can just, you know, click on that add photo, you know, button and just upload it, and it come right into this bottom film strip down here, so you'll see it. So Fundy gives you like some templates, like if you want to see what things look like on a room, like in a, like, say, not to say that this would be a baby, but let's just click on this room here. If I decided, you know, I wanted to see that what it looks like on a bedroom, I just click on the bedroom one, and they just go there. You know, if this was a picture of like a maternity client or some newborns, you could just show them what it looked like with their photos in a baby room, you know.
Got it. Thank you.
So, yeah. And one thing in doing this is what I tell clients too. Like, take a picture of a piece of paper on your wall, like a regular 8 by 10, like a regular, you know, paper, and put it on your wall and tape it there where you want it and take a photo. Because a lot of times people think like a 8 by 10 or 8 by 12 is a decent size until they see it, you know, what it looks like on a wall. And then when you get that paper and then you actually upload that and you showing it to them here compared to what this 24 by 24 looks like, they can clearly see the difference. Like, oh yeah, I want larger. You know, I don't really want that smaller image. So again, so we uploaded images. So we already we went through the album. So those same 36 images, we created an album, we moved things around, we did all of that. It showed you what it looks like on wall art. So we did that. And then it has, like, say if you wanted to do like a card, a thank you card for something. And a lot of times, a lot of the seniors may use this, or you can use it for anything, but a lot of times grad seniors It'd be wedding thank you cards, but it giving you like a couple different, suggestions. Like, so it already created this card for you if you wanted to use this one. And again, sometimes the images you would need to, adjust it. So that was design number 1 suggestion. Then it gave you a number 2. Then you had another suggestion there. And then again, you can switch the image out, if you chose to do that. All right, so that was album cards. So now slideshow. So if I wanted to, which I always do when I start my call with my person and I have them on the phone, I'm getting ready to show them this album, I always start it with a slideshow. I will, in the slideshow, you can come in here and you can say like all the images you want to show, or whichever images you want to show them. I can also say, let me show them what the album looks like. I always do the album first, so I'll change that. I'll have the album at the top, and then I'll let it go into the full images. Now to go one by one image. And Fundy has where you can create, they have some song selections in here. You can download some things of your own into this library, but they have some suggestions here that you can just flip through, hear the sound, see if it's something that you want, and you can use that. So this is telling me that I have 11 slides in this album. It's only going to take 42 seconds to get through this album at that small number. It's going to do like a skip beat here if you wanted it to. And that album, and then when it goes into the individual images, that's another like 2 minutes and 28 seconds that it's going to show. So of course, when I have bigger albums that I'm showing, sometimes my times may be like, just to go through the album, it may take like 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something like that. And let me pause and see, is there any questions or anything happening right now that I need to know about? Okay, so I'm looking over another computer so I can see your comments. You say, is your process the same for boudoir and families? Yep.
Is it, so does the number of photos that you use, does that vary for those two?
Yes, definitely it varies from what a wedding is. Okay. So where boudoir, I may still show them something that's probably like an average, maybe a 30-page album. And either we'll stick with that or we'll get it somewhere around to that 20-page album. But sometimes it is a little bit less images because boudoir, I'm taking up more of the album page than a wedding. Like I wouldn't put 4 images of boudoir on a page. Like it's either gonna be like 1 in 1, or it may be 3 across a spread. But that's probably I got an album right here I have to look at. That's probably the max of it. But the same concept, meaning after our session, we're going to meet. I'm going to create an album. We're going to go through the album design, and then we'll go from there if we're going to keep it as is, or if we need to decrease anything or swap anything. All that process is still the same. Was there any other questions? There are also companies you have ordered direct after designing. Oh, so Renee just made a comment that there are companies. Yep, you can order directly after designing through like your labs. Like rather if you're using FLORICOLor, Miller's, any of the labs. Fundy is set up with all the labs is in here that you can order your album directly. And they also have a thing with Miller's that once you load it here, it can go straight to Miller's, do everything, and come right to you. The other ones, it's going to do a little bit more process, but they have an agreement with Miller's that is a direct with Miller's. Okay, what else you said? Does Fundy have the specs for different... Oh, okay, that answers that. Yes, they have the specs for the different album companies. So you don't have to worry about figuring all of that out. Then there's... For wall art. Yep. Okay, so... Again, so right here, we're at the slideshow part. So let's just say if I was getting ready to show the album and the images... I selected a song already. Make sure if you're ever doing this, because I made this mistake years ago, sharing albums with music to my client on a Zoom, and I didn't hit that when I shared to Zoom, so hopefully I did it this time. When we share, I hit that thing with sound, and I don't know if I did it here, so let's see. Let me know if y'all can. Y'all hear anything?
We did, and then I don't know what happened.
Okay, I stopped it because I wanted to be sure. All right, so let's pick weddings. And if you wanted to like sample what things are, you can just like click here. You know. So. That's how you would do it. But I am going to select that one. I'm going to hit play. Let me stop because right now I have it. I don't want to do the skip the beat. So let's take on. So we're doing the wedding album. Album, then images. So right here, I took off the beat match because the wedding album isn't for me. I wasn't trying to do beat match with that. That means like if I was doing like a reel or something and you want each image to like pop to that beat, that's what that was doing. So on this one here, the total slide altogether, those three, is going to be 3 minutes. So I'm not going to play this for 3 minutes, but depending on how fast you want each image to stay on the screen, that's what this is. It's telling you like 2.5 seconds. It's going to take you 3 minutes and 33 seconds. If you wanted it to go and each image to be less on the screen, you just drag in this. And it's going to lessen that time. If you want things to stay on longer on the screen for the person, then it's going to make the video longer. So let's just go somewhere around 2 seconds.
We can't hear the sound.
You don't? It's kind of low. No. You don't hear it?
Okay. Nope, don't hear anything.
Okay. Let me... That's weird. Y'all heard it the first time, but then not the second time. So let me share with sound this time. Go back to Fundy. All right. Do you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay. And when this is playing like with the person, and what I do, because we're on Zoom and I see them in my screen and I see me, like, and I'm letting them know like I'm recording them. Like I take like little snippets of the video because I'm seeing them like smiling and they're interacting with each other, and you can use those type of things for like stories, you know. So it just went through the album, then it's going to go through like each image at this point. So now they can see what each image was one by one. Well, again, like I said, I'm not going to show this whole thing because that's 3 minutes. Okay. So, I think I got to stop sharing again to get back to it. Well, how y'all feeling so far?
Like $1 million. If I can make $1 million.
Like $1 million, huh? Okay.
Well, I learned I can just drag to make that wall art bigger instead of me actually typing in the sizes.
Oh, yeah. You can definitely just drag it. Yeah, you don't have to stop each one and type it in. Dana, you okay? I mean, you was a little late, but it's okay. You can always, I'm an open book. You can always talk to me or just ask me, what happened. Come to the next meetup. We'll go over Fundy a little bit. So she's from Detroit, guys. Sorry.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So let me see. So let me look at my notes. So we talked about albums, wall art, cards, the slideshow, how to move things around. Once you up here in this naming thing, if you see this little pen, like I had already, because if y'all remember at the beginning, I selected for it to automatically do a 10x10 album, wall art, slideshow, and thank you cards. So that's what it did. It did all of those things. You can click on that little pencil that was at the top where, well, I don't know if y'all saw it here, because you can go and like rename this where it don't just say album. So if you wanted to make sure that this said Jordan 10x10, you can do that. It's one other thing that it has, because I know we're not going to go over all the features, but if you wanted to do what they call a proofer, so say after I've talked to my client, we discussed like this is the album, I'm gonna go make a couple more tweaks from our discussion. So Jordan and Daryl. So I want to create this proofer. So what it's doing is creating this thing here that I can send to the client. So again, the name is Jordan and Daryl wedding. And you can make it where your color, like your branding colors is over here. Like you can, change these things out. So it's kind of designed for you. You can make sure your logo is uploaded to on here. From here, so it's going to create and send them that album, the wall art, and the card as a proofer if that's what I wanted to send them. So it'll come to them looking like this. It'll be like a couple of images, like this. So it'll preview it. It's going to design it, make the slideshow. We'll put in their email, and then you can review and upload it. So if I was to hit next, I'm not going to go through this whole process. But if I wanted to send them at least the album and the one thank you card for them to see, and when you hit next, if I wanted to add music to this when they get it, I can. You can do that beat match, or you can just, take it off. You can say, what you wanted to show them. If I wanted to also send that album again. Yeah, and so then you fill this part out, and then they'll get an email, and they open it up, and they'll be able to look at their album like a little slideshow through their email. I would only do that after we've done everything. This is like the final thing. Like I wouldn't send this first for them to look at and decide on. No, we're deciding everything together for me. So that's that. That's the card. So now if we wanted to go back to the album and get ready to share this, So say we're all done. And there's a couple, like I say, when I say it's more features that Fundy do, like if you wanted to create where this background is not white, you can change that. Like you can make the background like a different color. Let me see. Like you can
Can you
add
make the background an image?
you can make it an image. You can make it transparent. You can put text to this. You can, like, say if you like okay, these tools up here at the top, they control this whole spread. So the different things you can do to the spread. But if you click on the image like I just did here, you see how some other things came up? So now I can do things just to this one image. If I wanted to turn it, black and white or something like that, you can do that. If I wanted to make this image, I think this is going to take it over to the other side. Oh, it's going to flip it. I want bright to be the other way. It can, do that. If you wanted to like zoom in or out on something, parts of the image, you can do that as well. So yeah, if I wanted this whole spread to be black and white, you can do that. If I wanted to add text, you just hit text and you type what you want, then you can move that around wherever you want. If I wanted it to be, down here, or if I wanted it to be coming down sideways, you can do that. One other thing too. So when I showed you guys how to, let me see. Let's use this one. When I showed you how you can click on it and change the layout, like, okay, we like these 4 images, but I want to see what they look like not in 4 boxes. Once you click layout, it's going to give you different layouts that you can pick from. So you don't have to manually be like trying to design an album. You can be like, oh, yeah, I like something like this a little bit better. You can just click it, and now you don't have the 4 boxes. You have it that way. Well, another way to also do that is before you even double click on it to go to that other screen, you can do this thing here. It's like a shuffle. So you can shuffle that design around right from here too. So that's another way of doing that. And again, for those who missed it, if you wanted to take something out of an image and have it on its own thing, you can just grab one image and bring it to this open space or over to that spread. If you bring it in between 2 things, it's going to make its own spread anyway. So you don't have to always drag it over to open spread. All right. Where we at on time? Are we up on time?
You're good. You good.
Okay. Because one of the last things was like if I was ready to, like, I'm done, I'm ready to share this, like it's this little icon thing up here at the top. That's where you would click, and you can order direct from Lab. So like I said, they got a thing with Fundy, with Miller's. You can click that and order there. You can order for print, like if you wanted to just click here and like download the spreads to your computer. You can do that. A lot of times people do that when they want to upload them up to another company directly, to another company. Like you would just export, and so you can either order direct or you can export as JPEGs, and then you can upload those somewhere else. Let me see. Can I come out of this? Let me just hit export. So if I export as JPEGs, it's gonna, most time it always lands in your picture area on your computer. And you just hit select. I want all of them to go. It's going to export there. And then you can just take those and open up your FLORICOLOR or wherever you're ordering from. And you can do it that way. So that's how you can share. So yeah, so without going into a lot of the added pros things, I think we've hit a lot. These little things down here is how you can add other backgrounds to images, and you can upgrade. And this is where when somebody asks, can you upload a photo to the background, you would have to import that photo into this area. So I clicked on this thing in the middle here, and that's where the photo would end up coming into this group. And so anything down here is what you can like you can add it to. Let me delete that. Hold on. Let me undo. So these are the things that will end up going on into these backgrounds of an image. And also if you wanted to just do like where's the color thing? Change background color. So like if I wanted to just make that background, I don't know, what's the code for black? Is it all zeros?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. So yeah, so then you can just change stuff there if you wanted to. Like I wouldn't have made that black, but just showing you the different things you can do. Is there any other questions right now on Fundy design? I just have a few more things to go back to the presentation part, and then we can wrap it up. All right, well, I'm going to stop sharing for a second and reshare one more time. Okay, so this is where we left off on our presentation, and this is near the end. So if you don't already have Fundy and you would like to try it out, there is a free trial for it, and there is a 30% off code if you use if you log into Fundy and use Katrina as your code. You can get it for 30% off. And over here, if you want to schedule like a free discovery call with me to just, talk about, Fundy a little bit more, or if you're someone who wants to offer products and designs to other people and you don't want to do the work, I also do that for other photographers as well. Create albums. I do the work for them. So that's a whole nother process, but we can talk about that as an option. Or if you just want to, talk about Fundy. That's what that QR code is for. And I'll come right back to that. And some of the key takeaways was, so products create value. Albums, they definitely transform digital files into those cherished moments. It's one thing, again, to give people those digitals that are so beautiful and everybody love them, but what happens to them after that? So I just like to think a little bit beyond. I've had other people's clients come to me to create albums because they bring me little thumb drives saying, can you do an album for me? Because I didn't get one. So a lot of times I think as photographers, we think our clients is just okay with the digitals only because we don't know or we don't want to do the work of creating an album. And your client so far has been okay with that, which is great, but they don't know what they don't know. And when they start seeing albums of other people, they like, oh, I want one of those too. And I have done those several times where I've created albums from people who images that I didn't even take the images, but I've made an album. So start today. You don't have to wait. You have to implement everything. just think about having that tangible item, and you can do one product at a time. You don't have to offer multiple albums. You can just say right now, I offer one album, one standard 10 by 10 leather album, until you get comfortable with doing other things. So it will increase your income because that's an added purchase. The people are not just, walking away with that one thing. And let me see. And Fundy save you time. You see, I was able to create those albums, wall arts, and cards. It really didn't take but minutes to actually, do the work. But a lot of times where more time come in is when you really want to like change some things and like make the backgrounds different, or pull images out to make them really stand out as those hero images, which I love to do. And I think that was the last page. So any questions, answers, start small, explore different sizes. I don't know if we have time, but I could have showed y'all what some albums look like that I have here. And thanks for joining.
Can you flip through one?
Yeah.
Or the proofer, one or the other.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
So let me see. Well, okay, that one's a little bit much. This is a wooden album that I offer some portrait clients. So when you open it, this comes off. This is a case, but inside of it is a nice wooden album.
Hey, Katrina, stop sharing if you don't mind.
Oh.
So you be bigger.
Got it. Okay. All right, y'all see me now? So I took off the cover to this wooden album. Wait a minute. So inside this box, well, it's kind of blurry. It's an album. So this one here is just of a portrait session. So, and it's okay to show people like their images, big. You don't have to like clutter things up. Let me see where y'all at. But this was from a session. So this is a wooden album.
You can see back up just a tad bit.
Back?
To your left. Or move to your left. To your right. Sorry.
To my right?
There we go. Yeah, slide to your right just a little bit when you open it. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Do I need to do it again? Okay. So I was showing, because this is like a 12 by 10, I think. It's more like portrait landscape type, portrait mode. But anyway, it's kind of hard to maneuver this. But that's what a wooden album would look like. And then I have, this is more of a boudoir, but this is like a 10 by 10. But as you see, I don't like clutter the images on the pages. I let them breathe, and so they can really see themselves and suck it in. So this is about the most I would do, and it would only be like a set like this. I don't know how to turn that blurry thing off. I don't know what to do here.
That's okay. I think you get the
gist of it.
Okay, right there is kind of a good spot.
It's perfect. Yeah, right there is perfect.
But yeah, I was saying like 4 images like this, if they all was like the same thing, I would probably put on an album page, on a spread. But yeah, was there any other questions? Let me see. What's your price range that you would design? A price range for me, for my clients, or for somebody else?
Probably for your client.
Oh, for somebody else? Yeah. Hit that QR code. Did you scan that link? Let's talk for a few minutes, because it's a process to that. Like, there's a mutual agreement here that I make with clients. So there's a percentage that I would get, a percentage you would get, because it's your client. I'm just doing that part of the work. So we kind of split something there.
I did put the QR code link in the chat.
Oh, okay. Do you need me to share it? Oh, you got it in the chat. So yeah, if you click that link that she put in the chat, that'll give you right to where the QR code was taking you to. And again, do y'all need to see the code again for the 30% off? Fundy was just my name. So it was fundydesigner.com. And hit Katrina, put Katrina as the code, and it gets you 30% off. Yeah, that was fun, guys. I think I am all set.
Thank you, Miss Katrina.
Great info and beautiful pictures. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Katrina. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Appreciate you guys.